welcome to another GCSE Computer Science video with me, Mr Goff, for MrGoff.com. This video will focus on the programming construct, iteration. Iteration is sometimes called looping. It's where a section of code is repeated more than once. There are two types of loop you must be familiar with: count-controlled loops and condition-controlled loops. Let's take a look at each of these. A for loop is a type of count-controlled iteration. This is sometimes called definite iteration because we definitely know how many times it will run. It runs as many times as we specify in the for loop. In OCR reference language, the numbers are inclusive. So in this example below, for will take each value from 1 to 3 inclusive of the first and last values. This is slightly different to how it works in Python. You can use a step command with a for loop to increment or decrement the loop counter by any positive or negative value. So for I equals 10 to 100, step 10 would actually go through giving I the value of 10, then 20, then 30, carrying on until it gets to 100. And for I equals 100 to 5, step minus 5, we would start at 100, then 95, then 90, carrying on all the way down until I had a value of 5. With condition-controlled iteration, the loop checks a Boolean condition to see if it should continue. There are two types of condition-controlled iteration to be aware of: a while loop and a do-until loop. Let's take a look at each of them. A while loop checks a condition, and if it evaluates as true, executes some code before checking again, and then if it's true, it continues to execute that code until eventually it checks and it's not true. If the condition evaluates as false initially, the code in a while loop never runs. If you don't code in a way for the condition to eventually evaluate as false, you can end up with what's called an infinite loop. Here in the example on the left, if they are wrong, we first tell them that they're wrong, but importantly, we give them the opportunity to guess again. Therefore, at some point, they might type in London, in which case the loop can stop. If we look at the example on the right, we can see that it would say, sorry, that's wrong again. It would check, guess would still be whatever they put it as, and it would just be continually outputting this statement over and over and over again. In a do-until loop, the check is at the end of the loop, meaning the code in a do-until loop is always executed at least once. This is its key difference from a while loop. In the example here, the user would be requested to input their password. If they didn't enter a password that was at least 5 characters in length, then they would be requested to do it again, and this would keep happening until eventually they entered a password that was 5 characters or more in length. That brings us to the end of this video on the programming construct iteration. Join me in the next video when I'll be looking at data types and casting. Use the resources at MrGoff.com to help you revise computer science, and until next time, it's bye for now.